Mimi anuma omo di kaba o pese wo mu dale asori nsi amu sei e de ya amanyo sem no mo mo mpaye na mo mfa omo bone enjere.
Man, what a classic comeback. Everybody was expecting him to come swinging, but no. He said, I forgive him. This is not a political platform. But if he has chosen to use it to do politics, he's calling on the congregation. It was a church event too. So he's calling on the congregation, saying, you pray to God, say, this is what I meant when I say, Charlie, we have now seen the second version of father and son.
My never I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
And he described his opponent in a very funny way. He says when they get into the ring between him and the opponent, it's going to be like father and son. Do you remember that time? I say it will be like father and son. And I'm just saying this, because something happened recently that reminded me of father and son. This time it wasn't in the boxing ring, it was in the political ring. And we saw father and son. But as usual, before I get into anything, let me start the same way I start all the time, folks. And I say this because I believe it from in here. The truth crashed to earth shall rise again. And I always believe, folks, that on this show, we will constantly tell the truth and let the chips fall where they may. And the final thing that I say is that the gendarme coming left, right, and center, it can't stand the truth. We shall crush it. And then I'll ask my favorite question. What time is it, folks? And then your favorite answer is nation time. I'm laughing today because today I'm talking about two things that could have been very serious, but I'm looking at it in a very funny way. I told you how Azuma Nelson in the boxing ring, he beat somebody to a pulp. And I'll say, I'll teach, it will be like father and son. We saw a father and son recently. That was not in the boxing ring though, that was in the political ring. I'm sure many of you have seen it. It's gone viral. I'm just adding my touch to it and naming it round 2 of father and son. Let me tell you something that happened. Long ago when the crusade was started about the cocoa prices and the cocoa farmers and that whole crusade that was launched by Miracles and his group, they got this guy who says something about cocoa prices. Mutido Kayeno.
Sena dia menya kwanya eze be kata kire mahama jina hak me kata eze wontuo ni ye mahama ene che won kre dey entui kacho ni ata ne se wo de yaka uchu mutan wo de yaka
mahama wo de yaka. Let me tell you what I'm getting at. I think people just love this. It went viral. And unfortunately for my good friend, Dr. Bawumia, he saw, hey, Charlie, this thing is funny. Maybe I can also do a whole campaign on this. I said, oh, this thing is going viral. See, maybe when I do a campaign on the car, it will work. But something, Bawumia has a way with poetry in this campaign, and he kept repeating things that makes things sink. Remember when he had this whole campaign on the people are suffering, nurses are suffering. Listen to just a bit of it.
Teachers are suffering. Teacher trainees are suffering. Nurses are suffering. And nursing trainees are suffering. Patients are suffering, students are suffering, traders are suffering, pensioners are suffering, drivers are suffering, contractors are suffering, civil servants are suffering, and farmers are suffering, fishermen are suffering, and industries are suffering, artisans are suffering, and kayaye are suffering, the disabled are suffering, and men are suffering, women are suffering, and children and Ghanaians as a whole are suffering.
The whole country is suffering. Well, you see, when he did this campaign and it really went on, it caught on with the people. So when he saw the viral video with this man saying, Mahama, what do you car? And they click here. I say, I've done some before. That was long ago. I was saying the people are suffering. But maybe I can use what do you car to do another one. Maybe that will fly. So check him out here.
Cashew Nketia, Omusime Kanjira Asiedu Nketia said, Omudi Omoka, Ebro Nketia, Omusime Kanjira said, Omudi Omoka, and a soybean Nketia, Sime Kanjira Omuse, Omudi Omoka. Membonu said, Omuke 24-hour. Economy no 133 no omubenye ejuma no omudi omuka na Ghana fo nyina se menkanjire ne se dumso no amudi ababiom no omudi enka bebre.
So we are back, man. You know, and the funny thing, folks, is that it was now going to be the turn of Asiedu Nketia to take the floor, and people were wondering, oh, Charlie Asiedu Nketia na no ya. How is he going to jump back? Everybody was anticipating the kind of reply that Asiedu Nketia is going to give to this poem, Modeka. But check this out. Asiedu Nketia came and surprised everybody. Listen to him.
Yabasra Travel said, Minima, Womadi Kaba, one person, one Dale, Asiedu Nketia, Eddie Yaman, said no. Mumma Pie, Namum Fowl, one and seven.
Man, what a classic comeback. Everybody was expecting him to come swinging, but no. He said, I forgive him. This is not a political platform. But if he has chosen to use it to do politics, he's calling on the congregation. It was a church event too. So he's calling on the congregation, saying, you pray to God, say, this is what I meant when I say, Charlie, we have now seen the second version of Father and Son. Because honestly, Asiedu Nketia made the whole Bawumia speech like so irrelevant. And Charlie, put your hands together for Father and Son Part 2. Now let's go to the second thing I want to talk about, man. The second thing I want to talk about, you know, I don't know if you know, but do you know that there's something called the CC? And then there's something called the VIC. CC and VIC. I didn't know this. I only found out the difference, I think, when the OSP issued a fugitive alert or something for Ken. When he was going for Ken and he declared Ken a fugitive. That's the first time I heard that distinction, you know, because that time, I think it was Kwame Japan. He was quite upset with the way the special prosecutor was treating Ken. And he said he was treating Ken like a common criminal. He was treating Ken like a common criminal. So that's when I first realized that there are two kinds of criminals, man. We have the common criminals. That's what we call the CC. We have the common criminals. And we are very, very different from the VIC. Do you know what the VIC is? A very important criminal. So Korea Japan said, why are you treating Ken like a common criminal? In other words, no, they are not the same. We have common criminals and we have very important criminals. The common criminals are those of us broke people. You go and steal a phone, you go in for 7 years, you go and steal contemporary, you're going for 30 years, you're working and you're going for you're common criminals. No, the very important criminals, no. There's nothing like they have gone to steal a phone or nothing. They don't even steal, they misappropriate. when you hear the, what did I call it? The Auditor General's report, and people have stolen money like there's no tomorrow. Do you ever hear the word steal? No. They just find out that some amount of money have been misappropriated. They have been misappropriated, you know. So then that's the difference, one of the difference, you know. Common criminals, they steal. The very important criminals, they misappropriate. And they don't misappropriate small things like mobile phone, contemporary. No, state funds. We were sitting out somewhere where there were people came to tell us that the state funds that have been misappropriated is in excess of $22 million.
The 36 cases that we have reviewed in detail, if we are successful in recoveries, we can retrieve as much as 20.49 billion United States dollars. 20.49 billion United States dollars. 36 cases, and that's from National Cathedral, PDS, MS, SML.
22 freaking million misappropriated. They were not stolen, no. They were just misappropriated. And so here's the next level. When you misappropriate funds, you are not a common criminal. You are a VIC. And with the VIC, they should treat you with respect. That is when the law comes in, and the law will defend you and say, you have to prove this and prove that, and it has to grant slowly.
I may be as impatient as everyone else to see justice done, but painstaking investigations must be conducted. Dockets must be prepared, charges must be filed, and the accused must have their day in court, including appealing even on the smallest point of law to higher courts. This process is necessary to protect us all against abuse or ill treatment of citizens, and to ensure that only those guilty of offenses against the state are punished. As President Mills of blessed memory said, he said, and I quote, "The wheels of justice grind slowly."
Because we are very important criminal, man. No. You don't mess with the VICs, man. And this is how it's just been set up legally. You have to be a very, very, very important criminal, and then you get some very, very, very good defense. No, I'm just saying this like joke, you know. I mean, recently I heard my good friend was throwing a birthday bash for his wife, you know. He himself has been alleged to have some misappropriations, whether true or not. That's why I say alleged. But I'm not talking about whether or not is alleged. I'm talking about the party where you had amazing attendance. People that you would not call ever in your dream that these were common criminals. These were the very important ones who have been mistakenly called criminals. No, they are just VICs, man. The great Edubohen, you know, he's there. He's taking pictures. And one thing you have to remember is that if you're a VIC, that is the status of a celebrity. The VICs have a status of a celebrity. So you can see, check the whole environment and the atmosphere, and you can know that these are not, God forbid, you call any of them common criminals. Now, the reason I'm saying all of this is that, honestly, now let me get serious. I'm the year of Kakra. The reason I'm saying all of this is that it hurts me. It hurts me that a VIC was absent. There's one very important criminal, allegedly, who was absent. You know, he has found himself in the US and was in Ghana, you know, I'm talking about our former finance minister, Ken Ofori-Atta. And he's in the States. What hurts me is this. He was arrested by ICE, you know, the immigration, something, whatever, arrested him. These ICE guys, they are like his grandchildren, no? They arrested him, treated him like a common criminal. Actually took him into detention, put him in detention, and treated him like a common criminal. And what pains me is that no, Ken, you could have been in Ghana. Ken, if you watch the show, or maybe somebody will say to you this, I'm saying, Ken, it hurts me that you are lying in detention in the US. Well, I hear you are now home under house arrest or whatever. But it hurts me. It hurts me that this small ice boy, high school for treats you like a common criminal. No. Ken, you should have been in Ghana. You would have been a VIC and you would have been a celebrity. Can you imagine? He would have been at this party in his white. Ooh! Imagine this champagne over there. Or tonight, yes, small. Ken would have been there. He would have taken pictures. Because that's what we have been known to understand now. That if we made a mistake and accuse you of looting, all we are doing is that we are giving you a celebrity status. People see you and they say, challenge your selfie. Click. Because you're a very important criminal. And that's what we are looking at now. I remember I had a chat with Chachu Chikata recently, and of course talking to Chachu, I have to ask him about oral, and I asked him about oral, and he explained that the people's frustrations about oral is because those, I actually use the word that the wheels of justice grind slowly. And as a lawyer, what does he think? And he told me that the problem is that the wheels of justice that are grinding slowly is not the one at fault. Those at fault are those who are grinding the wheels slowly. Because they should be able to explain why the wheels are grinding at that rate and when it will quicken and everything.
Now, first of all, the president is right. The wheels of justice often grind slowly. But I think what is also important is that those who are kind of grinding those wheels have to instill confidence in what they are doing. They've got to let people appreciate why the wheels are grinding slowly. So for instance, you talk about oral. The reason why people are concerned about oral, Operation Recover or Loot, is because there is a widespread recognition that resources of the nation have been looted by people misusing their positions of power. And sometimes people say this on the basis of visible evidence to them of, acquisitions made from the loot and so on, of properties, and people see what they regard as visible signs. Yeah. So they want the institutions to be able to work to achieve justice for themselves as the people whose resources have been looted. So that's very legitimate. And I think it is necessary for lawyers and judges also to appreciate that perspective of the ordinary people. Now, at the same time, we lawyers particularly, we've got to break down, perhaps that's why we need some communications expertise. Mm-hmm. We've got to break down for people to understand what is involved at each stage of the process. For instance, there's a stage of investigation, of gathering evidence. And that gathering of evidence then leads to determining how to prosecute, what charges to lay, how the law is framed, and so on and so forth. Now, those require a lot of technical expertise. And sometimes, again, there are shortcomings. The Attorney General's Department, the staffing there is limited, And so when you have so many different cases that they have to deal with, they don't even have the human resources to be able to take on all those resources. So Meanwhile, we the people are eager to see justice because we have seen the loot that has taken place, and so our passions about that are very legitimate.
So that's what he said. But anyway, that's something else. But all I'm saying is this, Ken, why are you in exile? Why are you allowing small boys ice for no come and treat you like small boys, sir? No, you are not a common criminal. You could have been in Ghana. Nobody could have done you foco. And especially now, they say they are fighting with the OSP. I think there's a law that he doesn't have prosecutorial powers and everything. So that now is another open door. I know that you can possibly go to court and tell the court that, listen, even in Ghana, they are questioning whether the OSP had the right to prosecute you. All I'm saying is simple and short, Ken. I mean, Mustafa Ahmed hasn't he also been alleged, but he's not a common criminal. At one point, he says all these charges against him are useless.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I came to support my friend who to me. Me, my matter there is useless. It does nothing in it. Me, my matter there is useless. It does nothing in it.
Oh, mine. He's there. He's chilling. He's cool. To me, I think there was a football game that he was supposed to do the kickoff thing or the guest of honor or whatever. Oh, Bobo. What's your brother your day, Ken? I come to the airport and meet you myself. So what about bra? We'll be on your foco. We have VIC. And the status of VIC is celebrity status. Brian, your foco. But you know me, Charlie. I remember one time somebody asked me, are you KSM? Are you a politician or are you a comedian? Do you know what I told him? I said, I'm a polymedian. By the way, this is just an aside, though. Just so you haven't noticed, most of the most important funny comedians that we know in Ghana and in the world are those who speak the truth. No krenda ho, no akano knacho. Aso di diagro now, but you know they are speaking the truth. So you can call me a polymedian or a comedian, whichever you want, but the truth is here, crash to earth, it shall rise again. On a serious note, I think that NDC, eyes are on you. The vim and the campaign about funds that had been misappropriated, we are waiting for you to collect them. And I like what Chachu said, that we the people should actually be in a position where we can exert pressure on the judiciary.
My message, frankly, is for ordinary people also to get involved in holding the legal institutions accountable.
That's one time here should be said, the youth, youth view, don't sit down and let this pass and go cool. No. Something will happen. Nobody, and let's make this a note from now, nobody can come and sit in power and chop the state money and go free and be treated as a very important criminal. And if you were a celebrity, no. That time, let me borrow Lawrence said words, no. This nonsense has got to stop. But let me end here because today I just wanted to talk about father and son and then the VICs for today. But I'll come back your way again where we have some more talking to do.
Hi everyone. So this is my first time at Cactus Creek. And I must say that I absolutely love it here.
I must say it's a very lovely place. I'm blown away. Actually, this is not my first time here, but I always want to come back to the charm of it. It's a beautiful environment. I mean, nature greets you when you come here. True to its name, I was fascinated when I came in and I saw that embedded in the whole architecture of the place, there are lots of cactuses.
and there's a lot of nature as well, and it's really, really serene. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. It's located in the heart of Edui, in the mountains. You open your windows and you see the mountains, and it's just great. It's just lovely. And I came here with my colleagues to get some work done, and we're able to do it. And I mean, it's just been amazing.
I like the rooms. I like the fact that they face the nature, and the rooms are spacious. I have a kitchen in my room, which I think is really posh, and the food is good, both in terms of quality and quantity. I love it. I've also taken a walk around the neighborhood, and I think it's a good place to have like a stroll and a walk, some peace and quiet. I came here to do some work, and I've been able to get a lot done. So yes, it's absolutely amazing. I think that if you need a quiet, nice place, nature, beautiful, to sort of get away, this is the place. Don't just experience it. Don't just take my word for it. Come and experience it, and you would absolutely love it. Yeah.
Come, enjoy it for yourself. Come experience it for yourself as well, and you will thank me later.
The KSM here, who believes that no matter what, folks, no matter what, this country, we don't have a choice but to rise again.
I'm not PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, I PENDREAM TV.